Hey everybody, welcome back to Quality Time. Hope you've had a lovely week. Ours has been significantly better now that the heat's dying down. And of course, the first piece of news that you all want to know is the reason I'm not wearing a hat currently. So, I've had my hair done, so we no longer have the incredibly obvious, much darker, but still technically blonde roots. And everything's trim and nice, and my bang is not quite long enough to go into my mouth with the slightest hint of food. And of course, along the back, we have a lovely sort of light blue. It's not quite my nail blue, but you know, still pretty light blue. And to get this, we actually did have to we did have to bleach it a little bit. There are parts around here where the blue isn't quite so thick, but still there. That you can really see where the lightness has been lifted quite significantly there. I mostly wanted to make it only the end of the ponytail, partially because I thought it would look good. That seems like a good choice to go for when you're picking a hairstyle and stuff. And partially because if I ended up not liking it, then I just have to deal with it for like a couple of months, and then I can get it trimmed off, that kind of thing. So, yeah, went with that, and I have to say, I think it looks very nice, very fetching, and whatnot. Don't know if it'll stay there. Maybe next time I'll get a different color, we'll see. It's not terribly on the cheap side of things to get hair dyed, but it's worth it, I think, for how you feel about your hair after that. And it's nice to feel good about your own hair. I don't have a story this week so much as a bizarre ongoing situation. Because a couple of days ago we noticed that there was this pigeon just sort of perched on our bedroom windowsill, and didn't move very much, just stayed there. I think it flew off late at night, and then we figured, oh well, that was weird, but okay. Fuzz left out some peanuts and some water for it, and then it came back the next day. And with some analysis, we determined this was no ordinary pigeon. This was not simply the common sky rat that we see in most regular cities and towns and whatnot. No, this was a racing pigeon. Most obviously identified by the ring around its little left finger. Or foot, I guess. Yeah, foot, leg. Around a digit. Now, we can't identify exactly whose racing pigeon this is unless we catch it, but also we're advised to do so if it has stuck around for more than 48 hours. So we spent a significant chunk of yesterday just laying in wait for it to return to the windowsill, which it had already been at one point that day, and then just decided to fly off elsewhere. It's clearly capable of flying. We don't know if it's injured. There does appear to be some red coloration underneath its wings, which might be just ink and paint or might be blood, but it seems to be just healthy enough and just hanging out. But either way, we do need to catch it if it turns up again. So I don't know quite how we're going to do that. It seems quite content to stay on our windowsill and flutter away at the slightest hint of motion towards it. I hope it's okay. We haven't named it as yet. If we name it, we obviously have to keep it. That's kind of that's the law. That's how things go. If you name it, you're not allowed to release it into the wild or to anybody else. You have to keep it. That's the way these things go. So yeah, that's the weirdness that's happening. It's gonna be very interesting if it turns up and we then have to try and figure out how to return a racing pigeon. They will definitely be a first for my lifetime, that's for sure, on, well, at least a couple different levels, because I've never had to catch a pigeon, especially not from a bedroom window. But other than that, on to the schedule. Our upcoming streams for the week. On Thursday night at 9 PM BST, we have more Midnight Warframe as we continue through Pluto, the loneliest planet. Then on Friday at 9 PM BST, we have more Friday Night with Dead by Daylight. And on Saturday at 7 PM, we in fact have some Dungeons & Dragons, as the trio has a tentative and powerful ally, but what awaits them in Hillsbrat? Followed of course at 9 with the Carousel. And lastly for the week on Tuesday at 9 PM BST, we have Building Blocks, where we continue working on our demonstration dungeon. And videos you might have missed for the week. We have an instance of Dailies by Daylight where I'm really not a fan of Kenny. Here's why. Hand as ever onto the questions. So as always, these are drawn from the depths and the dooms of the comments section of YouTube down below. And if you have anything to ask me, just stick it in a bottle and drop it down there. We'll see if it lands. And our first question of the week comes from Quivercats. What's your favorite non-Minecraft series you've done? Boulevard of Glowing Dreams was a lot of fun. It was nice, especially later in the later episodes of that, to just have a sort of series where I could just run around a very, very nostalgic might be the wrong word, but it has a very similar meaning, kind of environment as the zone, and just talk about what was going on with me on the day. That was nice. Sort of a pseudo-vlog kind of system there, I guess. If I had to pick a non-Minecraft series that I have done that I enjoyed the most, though, it would most likely be the XCOM series. I'm counting them as like 2 separate seasons. So Enemy Unknown and XCOM 2, I had so much fun with those, because they allowed me to craft a story that I wasn't in full control of, and the parts that I wasn't in control of frequently made for dramatic kind of events, and things I wouldn't have planned, like losing Adams, and then his 2 daughters and wife signing up. Like, there was no way I could have planned to lose Adams, and if I had, I'd be a rather terrible person. But then being able to bring in the family that we'd always imagined he had back home, and have them be a part of the campaign, and the final battle with the Avatar and such, and just the way he went down was just amazing, and I loved it. And yeah, there's a lot to love in the XCOM series. Lisala asks, what is your favorite TF2 class and why? I have something like 800 plus hours in Team Fortress 2, ranging as far back as 2008. And I am most very, very, very strongly known as an engineer main. I can make engineer work in damn near every situation I could possibly be dropped into. You need defense, I can do defense. You need offense, I can do offense. You can do terrain. You want area denial, I can do area denial. You need a straight up battle engineer, I can do that. My secondary after that is a very strong on soldier. Occasionally, people are just too annoying to get a sentry up, so you know, it's nice to go and meet them face to face, death from above style. But I think probably, on balance, I will definitely say that my favorite TF2 class is Engineer. Never underestimate the Engineer. And that's all that I have for today, so I hope you've all enjoyed. I will update you as to the status of our Raising Pigeon house guest next week, and other than that, catch you next time.